What you just described there is a great example. You said it earlier, relationships. So it's relationship driven business. So you're putting all the pieces together, connecting all the dots, as you put it. Uh, and it's service. So you get what you're passionate about, and you get to build out relationships and make it about relationships, which is a big deal. Uh, I gotta imagine, man. Not for nothing, I know I've got the doc, a therapist, as a business partner here and on the podcast. Uh, it's got to be hard to kind of get in there when people are dealing with what they're dealing with, though. I mean, you're dealing with people when they're, I don't want to say it unstable, but emotionally sensitive, emotionally at risk. So that's a challenge,
It
right?
is. It's an incredible challenge. It's and to be completely transparent with you, it's something that I frankly suck at, like balancing. And I'm getting better at it, but I'm an empath. Like I feel these people's pain. I wear it for days at times. I'm learning to get better at that. This is not something that I'm necessarily trained in yet. I have my own experiences that I can draw from, my own processes and coping mechanisms that I can draw from, but it's the people that have come around me and have given me, hey, try this, that have helped me learn how to cope myself. And then there's those that come with me and meet these families and are there to unpack what we just experienced together, and that's made a huge difference. We're changing the way we approach these emergent need, call them deliveries, when we go and meet with the family. Um, that's going to be very different in the next few months. We're developing an actual internal program where we can train these individuals and myself, um, working with therapists. It's necessary. It's absolutely necessary.
I think that's the piece that's important, and I'm glad you kind of highlighted a little bit of working with therapists, and I think that gets lost a lot of the world. Obviously, that's my background, and realize I don't think people realize how much training we have to go to be able to separate those things out, because we do hear a lot each day, and be able to not let our own feelings come in when we're dealing with others people. So some of the worst things you can do if you're trying to be supportive is to break down when you're trying to be supportive of the other people, right? You have to be the rock. You have to be the one that has some emotion, but really a pretty flat emotion when you're trying to help people get through those things. And it's really important why people go through the training to get that.
Right.
And I appreciate you, Hayden, like pointing that out, that you do work a lot in conjunction with mental health therapists that are trained in that to kind of make sure the people are getting the right care. There's a lot of people out there that they try to wing it, and it causes a lot of damage.
Right. Yeah. I have established care with a therapist specifically for unpacking these emergent needs. Our partner, the organization that we work with, is um, Children's Home Society, and their coordinator is a therapist. And I've established care with this person so that I can unpack these cases that she's also familiar with. Obviously, we're not doing HIPAA violation type stuff, but I'm talking about and unpacking my experience. It's something she's aware of. So, um, I'd love to hear your opinion on something. Talk. I was on a call yesterday with a woman named Jennifer, and she was a Broadway dancer turned comedian, and she's talking about how when an actor assumes a role, they do a physical thing. She called it a ritual. It's pushing against a wall or clapping their hands or jumping up and down. Doesn't matter what it's something physical. And then when they come out of that character, they do that ritual to come out of that character. And it's something that I haven't had a chance to use yet. I'd love to hear your opinion on that, because it made sense to me. And for me, I visualize it as putting on a hat. That metaphor of putting on a hat, but actually putting on a hat. And maybe I'll go and meet people wearing a hat from now on. I don't know.
That's all you're missing. I mean, you got the cool beard, but you're missing the hat. I got the hat.
Yeah, you're right. I got a fedora at home. Maybe I'll just, no, fedora wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah, you go with it. People. I've learned care a lot less about what you're wearing when you're talking to them in those settings. But what you're saying, it makes sense. They are playing a character, so they need to get into that space and didn't need to be able to separate it out. I mean, you probably heard a lot over years about like method acting, where there's some that are really good at their craft, where the whole time they're on set, they're that character. Like they don't break, even if they're at craft services getting something to eat. You walk up to them, they're still in character, because it takes a lot for them to get into that character. And, you know, but I think the big thing is one size doesn't fit all, right? And there's plenty of actors that can turn it on and turn it off without even like a blink of the eye. And we're talking, you know, great actors in both worlds. So it's really finding what works best for you. So that might be something you want to experiment with and give it a try to see if there is something that you can do to kind of get into that mindset. And it might be what she was saying. It might be something else. Over the years, I've learned I don't really need to do anything like that when I'm in therapy mode. I'm in therapy mode and I can turn it on and turn it off pretty easily. And I have to a lot just in life and working with this guy. You never know when you have to shift into it. Just want to see if he's paying attention. Just check and see if we got you still. And adding a little levity to the conversation, because it is a tough one for a lot of people maybe listening, might be thinking about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, so it is really trying to find what works best for you, like in most things. But don't be afraid to try different things and see what kind of works.